Welcome back, dweebs, to another episode of the Weekly Dweeb. With me is my good friend Kev. Kev, on our new format here, pre-recording these. How you doing tonight, bud?
Oh, having a great time. Looking forward to catching up on the Marvel side of things.
A lot of
We've
news.
spent the last at least week, but definitely more, focused on the DC universe with Superman. Go check that review out. But talking about what might have been tonight, James, as well as what will be, or at least what is expected to
what
be.
is incoming, I suppose. As Kev has alluded to, we are talking Marvel. We are specifically talking Kang and Doctor Doom. In a recent roundtable interview attended by the Hollywood Reporter, Kevin Feige said they had started to pivot away from Kang before what had happened to the actor happened. He never says his name. Obviously, you know who he's referencing. Without referencing him, he said the actor's departure had not been the sole catalyst for the series' creative changes. Instead, conversations to bring back Iron Man star Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom begun before the public release of Ant-Man and the Wasp, which obviously made no money and bombed, and Kang was no good and is essentially done there. Here's his exact quote, Kev. We had started even before what had happened to the actor happened. We had started to realize that Kang wasn't big enough, wasn't Thanos, and that there was only one character could be that because he was that in the comics for decades and decades. Because of the Fox acquisition, we finally had it, and it was Dr. Doom. And then he says, in fact, I had started talking to Robert Downey Jr. about this audacious idea before Ant-Man 3 even came out. Oh, boy. So, Kevin Feige is saying that they were going to pivot away from Kang even before Jonathan Major's legal troubles propped up.
James, I don't know where to start here. Do I start?
I know where to start.
Okay, go for it.
Bullshit. There's the start. And the timing of this should put that right after 3 minutes. It's complete and utter bullshit.
That's a good place to start then, because I guess both of my avenues could begin with a bullshit, because I am wondering, A, is any of that true? And B, I beg to differ that my boy Kang was not big enough.
Yeah, Kev, what do you got there? Thanos. What are those? I've never, what are those? Fucking full-on books?
Yeah. You see this little thick?
Oh, that's just like a page or two, right?
Yeah. This is one of my favorite stories right here. Just in general, only myself left to conquer. Talking about time travel paradox and Kang essentially, maybe creating himself. I don't want to spoil the whole thing. It's kind of hard not to. It's a well self-contained sort of story, but dude, Kang, you're talking about the guy who went back in time and became Rama Tut and created a bunch of advanced technology, ancient Egypt. The guy who has a whole council of himself, an infinite number. He was able to, even as established in what was still the MCU. I don't know now if it's part of the Marvel television or if it's still the MCU. Who knows what the hell they're doing, but a character that was the man at the end of time. Obviously, power level to be well above.
Fantastic introduction, by the way.
Yeah. And well above Thanos in the power scale. And as you mentioned, that segues nicely into part 2. I'm kind of calling bullshit on it that they had other plans, because, as James mentioned, one of the best character introductions Marvel's ever done. And that was essentially just a monologue. And he did all of that, knocked it out of the park, despite Ant-Man being a dumb movie and a concept that I do agree, significantly weakened Kang by having him he's supposed to be your big bad at the end. And there's a version of him that gets defeated by like the 7th best Avenger. Yeah, that's a bad idea. they had multiple movies named with Kang's name involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember exactly when those changes were made, but I'm fairly certain it was not before the release of
No, it was not.
Ant-Man.
No, it was not.
I don't, James, to play devil's advocate, I will say maybe they had this thought, and is that why they defeated Kang in that movie? It still would be
No.
horrible execution. What do you think?
It's horrible execution, right? They didn't defeat Kang in that movie because they had some master plan. They have a ton of, they had the council of them, right? They introduced him. You took an awesome introduction. Yeah, the council was introduced. You took an awesome introduction at the end of Loki season 1, followed it up with the Quantumania movie. Now, it's right in between. I think in between there's when all the allegations came out, right? That's when all his legal trouble started. What did you fucking expect, Kev? Did they ever bring Thanos into a movie and have him get beat up by the Wasp or Ant-Man or anybody? Like, what did you expect? You didn't set him up to be this big bad. Like, you treated him like a third-rate villain, and he gets one of his versions gets beat in Ant-Man and the Wasp, which the Ant-Man movies have historically done low numbers anyway, right? What were you fucking thinking? What did you expect was going to happen? You're like, oh, he's going to be our next big bad, so let's put him in the Ant-Man movie. It had nothing to do with him not being big enough, Kev. You have a tome there. You have a book there's like 500 pages. Kang is one of the most powerful MCU villains there is.
Yeah, as far as the comics go, one of the could be, at least has the potential to be, one of the largest villains that they could create. And Doctor Doom wasn't going anywhere. And in fact, what they seem to want to do with Battle World and everything would have been a very fitting, like phase 7, so to speak, right? You have Kang
Absolutely.
and all these multiverses and all these different Kangs and these universes converging on each other and destroying themselves. And at the end of it, you defeat Kang, but not in time to save everybody. Guess what?
And then Dr. Doom
comes in and collects the fragments, and boom, you're in Battle World now. And that could have been phenomenal. I should say would have been, because
they've
Disney
been terrible.
Can't stop dropping the ball unless it's for Andor. They just don't do anything good.
There's very little post Endgame that has been good on the MCU side. And you mentioned Star Wars, the same over there too, right? It's not because they acquired Fox and suddenly had Doctor Doom. They left Kang on the back burner. They got rid of him for 2 reasons. One, the Ant-Man movie bombed, made shit money, scared the hell out of him. 2, his legal troubles. I think 1 led to 2, right? The bombing didn't create 2. He had his own problems. My bad wordage there. But if that movie makes $1 bazillion, makes 200 million, 100 million, 150 million in opening weekend, cruises to 500, I don't think Jonathan Major gets kicked out.
Ezra Miller didn't get kicked out of the Flash. They cast him twice.
Yeah.
Maybe apples to oranges.
They can take the high road and say,
crimes.
We got they can make all these bullshit ass excuses up, right? And they can look good because they got rid of him because of his legal troubles. The reason they got rid of him is because the Ant-Man movie bombed. Completely bombed, and they were like, fuck this. Now we're dealing with a villain with a character that's not making us enough money to deal with all the legal side effects, the legal ramifications of this, the backlash we're getting. We need to cut bait.
They still haven't learned to recast. It's like people reacted so poorly to Terrence Howard getting recast by Don Cheadle that they just refused to touch it ever since Iron Man.
But there is proof that they just were done. They're like they didn't recast him because they were like, well, he's fucked. Like we blew Kang. They wrecked Kang completely and unequivocally. They wrecked Kang, wrecked him for the MCU because of their own stupidity of letting him get beat by a bunch of ants. He literally and figuratively, he got beat by ants.
Yeah, not even Ant-Man, literal ants that
And
were
it was too
stuck
late
in
after
the
like in
quantum zone.
season. He's decent in season 2 of Loki, if I remember right. Like he's not. It's not great, but it's all fucked
He
after
doesn't
that.
instill fear. He's a
Yeah,
timid, smart guy that kind of runs around and
yeah. That
is
they're
a
trying to
bit of a
kill, right?
wiener
They're
the
trying to
whole time.
preemptively kill. Not a
I
great,
yeah, I can't
right?
remember, to be
Something
honest.
like that.
I did not like. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't like season 2. I did, but not enough of
Not
it
season
hung
one.
around.
It's not season 1.
But when he's running around as what, Victor Timely or whatever,
Yeah,
they're
Victor Timely is the name. Yeah.
again, stuff for nerds like me that were already big Kang fans. It was stuff that I enjoyed, but I don't know that it was the best uh, way to approach building up your big villain. What so much of what made Thanos, who has his moments in comics, don't get me wrong, but in the comics, Thanos is this weirdo loser who is obsessed with Mistress Death because she's
Yes.
like attractive. And so he's killing half of the universe to get some chick who has no interest in him to like him a little bit. Like he's one of the most pathetic villains in all of Marvel Comics. He's a complete loser, but the MCU set him up in a way that it was ominous. It was ready to go. And by the time he
Yep.
hit, oh shit, dude, the
It
big
was
guy is
real.
here. And it was a less is more situation. It was that old alien metaphor
Mm-hmm.
again. 4 minutes of goddamn screen time. And look, we're still getting movies and TV shows from that. 4 minutes of screen time for the villain.
His.
Less is more. They showed us way too much Kang and too many of the different personalities that needed to be doled out over time. So I would say,
Mm-hmm.
yes, Ant-Man, definitely the nail in the coffin, but I don't think that season 2 of Loki did a lot to help either.
They didn't do
It did a
any.
lot to help the character of Loki and Ouroboros, but it didn't do
Yes.
anything to build up Kang.
Agree. I would agree. You got one really good scene of Kang. It's really it after that. Like you get the really awesome before the at the end of time scene. Like, and think about this when I said Thanos, when he finally shows up in a movie, right? Or his first full movie, he comes in and the first thing he does is kill Loki in the first 10 minutes. His entrance,
And beat up the Hulk like he's
yeah,
my size.
beat the Hulk up and killed Loki. It's like, motherfucker, this dude is for real. And like, what's Kang? Like Kang's first entrance in a movie is he gets beat up by a bunch of ants.
Hank Pym's wife let me out of here, I think.
Yeah,
He didn't even
it's
get out
pathetic.
on his own.
They did him a disservice, and it's really unfortunate because there's so many cool variants and timelines we could have saw. You mentioned Ramatut. Isn't the Scarlet Centurion one too?
Yep.
There's one in the future. Like there were so many possibilities for movies that they would have still been a part of the MCU, but they would have been separated, right? Like this one's in the past, this one's in the future, this one is somewhere, right? Like it's just, there were so many cool ideas that are just all fucked now.
That they're probably still going to lean into a little bit, like they had the TVA. They're clearly doing the Fantastic Four in an alternate timeline. So chances are they're going to keep some of that stuff. And then I guess just try to over time sweep Kang's role in it under the rug, even though none of this should exist without him, I think, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
there was one of him in every universe and they just got rid of one. There's still a whole council that they showed us,
Yeah.
which, as
They
you
just
corrected me, it was after they defeated. So it was almost as if they're like, oh, well, because there's a million Kangs, we can introduce you to a lesser one, but then and have him defeated. But throughout the movie, they're like, oh, well, he's the renegade. He got sent down here into the microverse because he's the
so
one
stupid.
Kang that could beat up all the other Kangs, but
He got
he's
killed by the ants.
yeah, but his kryptonite is ants. Just if ants, if they're smart, also spiders. Not a big fan of spiders. I don't know. It's just like
So
what
stupid.
what are you doing? And now
What'd you expect?
to turn around and stick it to a character that did nothing to you, that is
He didn't
not
do
even
anything.
a real person. All right. All it is an asset that you are kind of crumpling up and lighting on fire and pissing on.
Because you
For
botched
what?
it.
Because you screwed it up. Yeah. It's crazy.
And then to badmouth, like to say he's not as big as Doctor Doom, and just like, why not just admit what it is? Hey, it bombed. He had legal trouble. We pivoted. It's why can't you just say that?
Ooh. Shareholders, I guess. I don't know.
Saying that you had this plan, like you didn't. That's a fucking lie. Like you didn't. You were never like Robert Downey Jr. was done. This is literally just a Hail Mary to try to save it. And I don't know if it's a good one or not because you've got Iron Man playing fucking Doctor Doom.
And this is the type of lying and narrative protection you can expect from people who clearly have no idea or have at least lost the skill of storytelling. Because
Yeah.
let's just think of it another way, James. If it is the way that we say it is, which is a reaction to the fans not loving what Phase 5 was and a pivot into something new, isn't that more impressive if it works? Like after the fact, like let's say Bob Downey knocks this out of the park and everybody's having a great time. What if Phase 6 is the new hotness, dude, second prime, all this good stuff? Isn't it better to be like, yeah, look at what we were able to do. Look at where we were and how we were able to do that. To me, that's exponentially more impressive than lying and saying, well, this was always the plan, but we just decided to continue to sink money into an Ant-Man film that was bleeding and building towards nothing. That was the move, was let's just still spend a ton of money on marketing. Let's do all the CGI. This, as far as CGI budgets go, shit, like how much of that movie was in front of a bunch of green screens? So it was just like, why did you do all of that if you already knew you're moving away from it? Doesn't track with me. Because
you didn't need to, like, because you could have just went straight to season 2.
Yeah. You had no need to have Kang be an Ant-Man villain. It didn't even make a lot of sense. If he felt shoehorned in, right? Like he's the guy at the end of time. Why is
suddenly he in the microverse?
Exactly. Why is he trapped in the microverse with
because she stole his battery from his car or something like that.
Yeah, it's just so dumb. Like, oh, well, he's down here too. Like, you could have done anything, could have done whatever you wanted. Could have been anybody down there. Didn't have to even really need to be down there. Y'all didn't have to spend your whole movie down there. It could have done a lot of different things with that, man. This seemed so I don't know which one is worse. I don't know why this is the path that they've chosen, because to me, now I just have more questions. Like, why did you make that stupid movie then? And is this why you made Cross just a giant idiot head looking thing? Like, is this why you killed MODOK too? Like, let's just torch multiple villains, because we're creating so many good new ones now in our
we don't need them.
Universe. We have so many. We have endless characters to choose from. It's bad enough they introduce people like the God Butcher and kill them off in the same movie. Like they take these characters that multiple characters they've used have had the same Thanos potential. We've just listed 2 of them. Gore and Kang both could have been
done this a lot.
Movie villains, and instead it's just flavor of the month. Origin, also you're gone. And if I haven't seen the movie yet, but there's a chance that we're going to get the same thing from damn Galactus, dude. Can you imagine that?
It's not looking good.
Galactus is going to be a flavor of the month movie, one-time movie villain. So don't tell me, Mr. Feige, Mr. So-called Kevin, who I haven't seen at a council meeting, by the way. All right.
He's not one of the council members.
Hey, that's why he's so anti-Kang, because he got ousted from the Council of Kevs. It could be what's going on here. But Mr. Feige, don't tell me that Kang is not a worthy villain, I would argue that you just don't have a worthy creative staff.
Yeah.
If you weren't able to do something with a character,
with
that character, and you're already doing multiverse stuff, and you can't.
you
Okay,
just stay
sure.
in the quantum verse.
That's a skill issue, sir. That's a you problem.
Yep. Disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Kev, we're going to stay with the MCU here for topic 2 today. Kevin Feige, still talking about him, says that Fantastic Four is a, in quotations, no homework required, go see the movie. It's literally not connected to anything that was made before. It kicks off phase 6. 2 questions. 1, A, what are your thoughts on that? And B, do you even know what movies were in phase 5?
Part 1, I like this. I find it amusing that once again Marvel and DC are 2 ships passing in the night, as we have James Gunn telling his audience, well, if you watch Peacemaker season 2, you'll see what big thing is coming next. And then Marvel, who's hopefully finally learned their lesson from trying to connect movies to shows and making bad shows and then retconning those shows one movie later. All kinds of good stuff. I think now more than ever is time for, if not a complete clean break from what's been happening, time to go visit different parts of this expanded universe, and you can always come back later. So I'm happy that there's a no homework movie out there from Marvel. Feels like the first time in a long time one could say that. But it's don't get used to it, because he just said it's to kick off phase 6.
It's the beginning of phase 6, which I'm going to pull up. So you don't need to watch anything before, but everything after, please go to, right? That's the rules, right?
Exactly. Enjoy your vacation.
Pay any attention after this. Don't worry about Kang because I got rid of him, but you need to know all these. So here's phase 6. Starting with Fantastic Four on July 25th, we get the Eyes of Wakanda animated TV show in August.
Okay.
In December, Wonder Man. Wonder Man's a TV show too, right?
I believe so.
I believe Wonder Man's a TV show. Next year, we get season 2 of Daredevil, Born Again. If you've seen season 1, it was kind of all over the place. We get the Punisher special next year.
Began filming this week, right?
Did it?
It was either that or this upcoming Spider-Man.
Nice.
There's footage of Frank and his.
Oh, because he's in it. Yeah, because
yep.
Right directly across from it is Spider-Man Brand New Day, coming out July 31st, 2026. Punisher is in it because it's street level crime. We'll talk about that. Vision Quest, which White Vision hasn't been seen since WandaVision, and God knows what year that was. That was 3, 4, 5 years ago at this point. That was a very long time ago.
So whatever arc he had in WandaVision, you can rest assured it will have been forgotten, and he will re-experience.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about
Vision Quest, so don't even worry about it.
Then you get Avengers Doomsday December 26. You get an Untitled movie July 27, and then Avengers Secret Wars in December.
Oh,
27.
James, but hang on a second. We have an Untitled movie in 2027 that was always part of the plan, right? Now, so they've removed the Kang dynasty. What were there were 2 different
it was the Kang dynasty, and wasn't it Kang dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars? Was that right?
Okay. Maybe okay.
Kang dynasty was one of them. Maybe it was never a Secret Wars. I can't remember for sure. So maybe it was definitely Kang.
Doomsday is the old Kang dynasty. I got a little ahead of myself, gang. I was like,
well, they messed it up.
You always had this idea, but you still haven't come up with a replacement title for this idea you had 3 years ago.
Weren't they like 6 months apart at one point? Like, it was fucking weird.
Oof.
Like,
what do you think you are, Saw?
Kang Dynasty was originally announced in July 20. It was Kang Dynasty was originally slotted May 2nd of 2025. So it was before the other movie. The other Avengers movie.
Only 2 months ago, James.
Yes.
How'd you guys like Kang Dynasty? Was it good?
I'm trying to
Should I rent
remember.
it?
I'm trying to just see. I can't. I was Kang Dynasty, and what was the other? I can't remember what the other one was.
I think it might have just been Secret Wars, which is
Kang
fair.
Dynasty.
But this
It might have been Secret Wars. It actually might have been, yeah.
Yeah. This is more like it, I think, as far as the amount of content being put out by Disney Marvel between basically for the next year and a half.
Yeah.
2.5. I'm assuming though that a few more television shows will be added to this. I think it'd be pretty odd. They've got one this fall, one this winter, one next spring, and then just one in all of 2026 and none in 2027. I imagine more of those shows will be announced. So don't expect this to be all of phase 6. I highly doubt that.
I doubt it too.
But this is closer. I would say for 2025 and what looks like 2026, that's a good rhythm. That's a good pace. I wouldn't add much more to it, but I expect 2027 will have a few more projects in there.
Yeah, exactly. You've got 1, 2, 3 this year. Still, you had Daredevil earlier this year, so there was 4. Was there anything else this year that I'm not thinking of? I think that's right. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 next year. Fuck, you got 5 next year. So much for the Punisher. I think is a one-off special, but still, like, there's 5 next year. There's gonna be more announcements, but yeah, it's you only need to just don't worry about it now. But here in about a year, you'll need to watch a shitload of stuff.
I'm just happy to see Dr. Manhattan make it to the MCU. So
Yeah.
we'll see how Wonder Man goes, but great actor.
Great
At least
actor.
I've enjoyed his work. So
He's a great actor. I really enjoy him. There's one that's missing that is driving me insane, and I've bitched about this a lot, so this isn't new. But there is no X-Men movie anywhere. Like, I don't know why they bought the rights if they weren't going to use the biggest piece of the rights they bought. Like, to make a Fantastic Four movie before X-Men is quite a fucking decision. I guess this is the company we're talking about that botched Kang, but I assume you're going to get some cameos in Secret Wars, right? Like, I assume Secret Wars will have a bunch of former characters and maybe some different versions of them too, a la Chris Evans as Johnny Storm and his brief appearance in the Deadpool movie. But it's a weird thing, and Feige recently said Marvel will recast the X-Men and reset the MCU after Avengers Secret Wars. His exact quote is, "We're utilizing the story not just to round out the stories we've been telling post Endgame. Just as importantly, you look at the Secret Wars comics from where that takes you. It's very, very much sets up for the future. Endgame literally was about endings. Secret Wars is about beginnings." It says reboot is a scary word, and then X-Men is where that will happen next.
Well, this is coming from a guy where I believe accountability is a very scary word too. So
yeah,
take that with a pinch of salt. But you've got this very valuable IP that's full of characters
loaded
that people would love to see on the big
have
screen.
loved to see.
Have been wanting it for a long time. So here you're in a bit of a lull. Business isn't great, and you have something that the people want. And so naturally you make Wonder Man instead. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I actually don't know anything about Wonder Man. I really don't. I don't know anything about that character. I know the actor, so I'm hoping it's good, but like, I don't know anything about that character. You know what I know about?
On it.
Fucking, I know a lot about the X-Men. A lot of
right. That's just what I'm saying. Like, it's not meant to necessarily be a slight, but this same dude is the guy who said that Kang was not worthy of being a large villain. Kang, by the way, one of the main Fantastic Four villains. So again, press X to doubt on our last segment that Kang wasn't part of the plan, but you're gonna make Fantastic Four before the X-Men, like James said, but Kang wasn't part of your plan. That's pretty dumb.
You know, what team up wasn't very big going into their first movie and is now a main staple of this franchise? The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
Guess what? They made a really good fucking movie.
Oh,
They fucking killed it with those guys. Perfect casting, great movie, great directing. That movie gets James Gunn where he is today.
How could a villain who's been a villain for the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the Avengers again, Moon Knight, Symbiote Spider-Man.
Kev is reading from a book right now, by the way.
And Fantastic Four. How could this guy? I've got all of these individual comic runs and full series runs where he was the main antagonist, but you ain't got enough room for him in Phase 6, and you also don't have room for the X-Men. Right. Makes sense. Because the plan was always to bring Rob Downey Jr. out of retirement.
Yep.
If they pivot, it will be incredibly impressive. But if they try to insist on leaning into this lie that it was always part of the plan, it won't work. Big corporations have tried this before. It's funny. This happened in the world of TKO WWE just last spring, over the last year or so, with The Rock. Rock trying to force his way in. Wouldn't you know it? Another Hollywood big money guy doesn't know what he's doing creatively, almost ruins something. And then when the creatives pivot and fix it, isn't the news story is that was always the plan? No, it wasn't. And we all know that. And it's more impressive that it wasn't the plan. It's more impressive that you
just acknowledge it.
Something good. Just take your credit, dude. Just take the flowers instead of trying to lie.
Why
and act
lie?
like you got it all figured out, especially when you're going to plop out this schedule that says, speaking of always the plan,
we have one in 2 years that's unannounced.
Yeah. What? Get out of here.
Like, no,
dude.
I firmly believe. I think the Fantastic Four is getting decent reviews. I think it's gonna bomb. I don't think it's gonna be very good.
I just need that special popcorn bucket and the cup, gang.
The wraparound.
Not only do we have the wraparound, the bucket, but I hear if you get a special Fantastic Four cup, it comes with a baby blue lid that has Reed Richards on top of it. And wouldn't you know, it also comes with a baby blue straw. So I'll let you think about the imagery. Perfect combo for the bucket. We'll just say I should probably do any other hand motion than this one right about now.
Not the right hand motion.
But I think it also helps illustrate the point I'm trying to make. So here I am doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Please subscribe, gang. All right.
Like and subscribe.
I think I earned at least one thumbs up for that because that's on tape forever now.
Yep.
I gotta feed
clip
my family somehow.
Get that AI to clip that one. Topic 3 this week, Kev. This one's more for you than me. This one is more your alley. So I'm going to defer to you. But we've got multiple Alien Project news here. First one is the TV show that we have talked before about it not making sense that the aliens came to Earth. So got a comment here that I want to get your thoughts on. This is from FX Entertainment boss via Variety. Alien Earth abandons plot elements from Ridley Scott's prequels and exists in a parallel to Romulus. The Entertainment boss says everything doesn't have to fit together the way you expect from Marvel. Fans don't expect that in this universe. You are way more the Alien guy than me. I haven't even seen the newest one, which you did enjoy. I have seen most of them. Kev, do you care about continuity in the Alien universe? Do you want side things like this? This is parallel to Romulus. Romulus was the last movie to come out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And yes, I do. Okay. We'll stick to Alien for the most part, but let me just say first, generally speaking, I applaud this behavior in all cinematic universes. It's totally fine. It's not that hard to explain. And if you go back to even our Kang video segment and other discussions, I am perfectly okay with this. It might get a little confusing for the casual fans if they don't hear news like this, and maybe they did watch Romulus and they're expecting things to all fit and be the same. So I will understand if you disagree with me on this. This will just have to be an agree to disagree situation to any of the folks at home who are like, no, I want this continuity to make sense. It's not that I don't want there to be continuity that makes sense. I do. I'm just perfectly fine with there being other world, elseworld ideas. And in a world full of multiverses, it doesn't bother me at all. And I think it's easy enough to explain. And I'd rather do something like that than have retcons come in and negatively impact projects that I did like, right? You know,
Correct.
not that there are many of them, but what about the fans of like the Alien 3, you know, any of those weird ones that have all been sort of whitewashed
Like
and
they don't
now
exist anymore.
Yeah, what you know, the Halloween's another one. There's a ton of movies that no longer in canon. Who cares? You know, it's just sort of you can just have them exist parallel to each other. I don't hate this. I think it's the only way you could do it, James. If you're going to have aliens come to Earth
Well,
based
that
on
was
everything else, right? How else would you do it?
That was our big question, right? When we watched, or I can't remember if we watched a trailer or read something about it, was how the fuck are these aliens on Earth? Like that has never happened in any of the movies or any of the lore or stuff. So I would agree with you. Like, okay, so we can do this and make sense and have fun with it. I wasn't sure if you were like locked in, like, I want my alien one straight line, but then you brought up Alien 3 and it's like, oh, duh, it isn't already.
Yeah, that Band-Aid's been ripped off for me, especially in the horror franchises I enjoy, because we just mentioned this one, Halloween. I mean, if you were fans of any of like the Jason movies or
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, you got Freddy vs. Jason on top of stuff. Like all of these have been messed with before. And maybe to show all of my cards on the table, maybe this blow is lightened for me because I I don't love the prequels. I don't love the Prometheus stuff. One
Yeah.
of the
I have seen
least
that. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, you know, there are elements that I like. I'd rather it exist than not exist, but it messes with the established timeline. It messes with what I enjoyed a little bit, where I'm like, I didn't really need all of this. Sometimes the best parts of horror is keeping the mystery, just letting us have our theories and having fun. Sometimes you over explain it, you do too much, and it ruins the fun a little bit. That's how I feel about some of the prequels. My least favorite part of Romulus is the fact that it gets directly tied into those prequels. So maybe that's another part where I'm like, okay, well, hey, Alien Earth, maybe that's for me. Maybe this will be the canon that I personally enjoy following more, because that was good but not great. Maybe this will be great, and I'll just jump ship over here and we'll ride with this alien universe. So admittedly, I might be a little biased. And how do you feel, James, just generally speaking? Are you in favor of having this? Do you think it would cause too much confusion for an outsider? Like, is it going to make it difficult to bring in new fans?
I think the people that are going to watch this will know this, right? I think they will see these comments and know. And somebody that catches it is probably not, and it doesn't understand it, is not a huge fan of the series anyway. So they're just watching because they just saw it, or they're like, oh, that looks interesting, right? I think the best example I can think of is you were kind of naming off franchises that are doing parallel or have done different stuff, and it's happening right now, is in the James Gunn DCU, whatever he's calling, I don't know what he's calling it exactly. You have his movies, but you also have the Batman movies getting made that are completely separate, tonally different, wouldn't really fit. I think he got asked about it again today, and he's like, no, they're not part of this. So I think when you think like that, especially in universes this big, like, let them have some fun. There's a lot of fun scenarios for the Alien franchise that don't have to fall directly in line. And here is one, like, oh shit, what happens if they end up on Earth? Because they never have. That's always kind of the kick, right? Is it's somewhere else, it's a spaceship, it's a different planet, it's never ever Earth. So give them this freedom. Let people play in the sandbox and have fun. Not everything needs to connect.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's a good series to fit for it because we also think about Alien versus Predator. Like that has an
Yep.
entirely different canon that really doesn't belong with either. It fits a little bit better with the Predator story than it does with Alien. But yeah, I think this is a cool concept. I'm going to enjoy watching it and we'll see. I'm looking forward to they released like a 4-minute sneak peek that at first I
Yeah.
thought was just going to be like a long trailer or maybe just honestly a kind of a boring scene with a nice cliffhanger in the last 30 seconds. You know
Hmm.
how they do. But
Yep.
it seemed more of like a segment from what I imagine will be weekly releases of their making of behind the scenes stuff
Hmm.
because it seemed pretty well produced on a quick glance. But I'm excited to hear the creators talk about it and talk about that freedom. But yeah, I think this is an incredibly fun idea. It's another concept. My favorite horror franchise, whatever. It's really just one film, and I love the story it's based
Yeah.
on. But The Thing, there's a small comic book run where they introduce the idea of the Thing getting outside of that isolation and what it would be like. And I think xenomorphs are akin to that with their ability
Yeah.
to, through face huggers, just get a lot of, just basically overcome all of humanity pretty quickly. So I think that's a exciting twist in a franchise that has already done just about everything it could do. So,
Hmm.
uh, if you're going to keep Alien alive, I think this is the way to do it with a TV show on top of
Yeah. It's
a
TV. Yeah.
concept. That's the other part that's kind of gives it a little
That,
bit more
have they ever done a TV
flexibility,
show?
I think, is it's not a movie. I don't recall. I don't believe there's been a TV show before. They've had a really cool
I don't
video
think so.
game
Really cool.
with
Isolation.
yeah, Isolation's a lot of
Hmm.
fun, and there's actually a bit of like an RPG, like a top-down squad management sort of video game that at one point I have grabbed it on PlayStation Plus, shout out, but have not played it yet. So they have a few video games in the mix, but I don't think they've ever done TV shows before. And I really enjoy the possibilities of. I hope this does really well because I think a lot of other IPs could start to utilize that formula. I think the mistake that Marvel is stating they'll move away from, and the one that James Gunn has recently stated he's going to drag the DCGU into, is what I'm calling it,
I
trademark,
like. Yeah.
is to make these TV shows required viewing. Like go the opposite route. That's the place to do this other Elseworld stuff. Uh, I'm all for it, and hopefully they don't mess it up because then nobody will try it again if they do.
Yeah. Exactly right. Like if it gets messed up, then it won't happen again. And nah, we don't want that. But Kev, this also leads into my other alien topic for the week. Is this one again talking parallel stuff that doesn't all need to fit together, and one that I didn't like. In theory, this sounds insane, but I'm like, oh my god, this could be really fucking cool. Marvel Comics has announced Alien vs. Captain America, a 4-issue limited series written by Frank Thierry with art by Stefano Raphael. The book is set in World War II and sees Hydra unleashing the xenomorphs. Comes
Oh,
out this November, and these covers are incredible. um, it's incredible.
wow.
You've got the xenomorph in the background, the face hugger on the shield, and then this one too. And of course, Mike Peter's really slow. Captain America. That's a legion of xenomorphs. That's not a xenomorph.
Oh, dude, this
Um,
is going to be
I'm
fun.
interested to get your thoughts on this.
I can't wait for this. I think it's the perfect way to do one of these short run crossovers. This is very nostalgic for me personally as a long time comic book fan, even throughout my days as more of a casual comic consumer. You always kept an eye out for the big crossover events. That's something that I feel was done a lot more in back in the day, but as comics have
That's not
had
done
a
as
bit of a
much
return.
anymore.
Yeah, and we talked about the Batman Deadpool crossovers. Check that
Yep.
video out.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I think, I like this a lot better than that. This reminds me of, I think Batman
It's fun.
at one point did fight Alien. I know he fought Predator, and that was really fun. What a great way to introduce it, to have it be World War II Cap. So you've got that era Cap,
Yep.
and it being a Hydra just project. That's my probably my favorite version of Hydra too, as opposed to the MCU, which I mean it was like more computers, and you got these guys were like a little bit into the occult side of things. So it's the idea that they would find some probably a meteorite that an alien crashed down, and that Hydra went and found it, and then has been
Mm-hmm.
researching this in a lab, and then they unleash it on America. And then you got Cap, and I imagine some cameos fighting against a legion of aliens.
Could get
Sign
a
me up,
Wolverine
dude.
cameo, because if they go with the old school one, like there are some comics where Wolverine is in World War II with Cap. There's some
Ooh.
fun fucking possibilities here.
Yeah, dude. This is exactly the way to get somebody like me to pay for multiple comics. All right?
I'm like, I saw this. I'm like, oh, me and Kev are gonna be reading this in the fall. We're gonna be paying
Yeah.
attention, reading this, and talking about it. Because this, I mean, this is the kind of crazy crossovers. Like, you'll never get this in TV, right? Like, there's no fucking way. However, in the comics, this is, and like you said, it's gotten picked up a little bit more in the last few years. You talked Deadpool, Batman. I know there's been Ninja Turtle ones crossing over into Wild Things recently. I'm fucking here for this. This can be fun. I'm here for this.
Sign me up.
They released perfect pictures too. Like, those are great. The covers are great.
Yeah, they had me with that first one with the
This one's so good.
facehugger on the shield is so good.
Yeah.
100%. We'll probably be covering this one on a monthly basis as it gets released, and then I'll probably be adding to my collection and buying the full version when it comes out too. Because, whoo, good God,
yeah, this is cool. This cover is sick. I'm here for it.
I'm all in, dude. A great day for Alien fans. Shout out, gang.
Yeah. Woo! Big week for Alien fans there. That's awesome. That is coming out this November. Is that a once a month release, Kev? Is that how that works? You would know more about this than me.
Yeah, generally speaking, I mean,
do.
It might be longer. Like maybe it's a quarterly, but generally speaking, it's once a month.
Yeah, I'm here for it. We'll be paying attention to it, Kev. Very exciting. See how Cap survives the old xenomorph horde.
Oh, I can't wait.
And doesn't turn into a facehugger.
Could you imagine if they do that? If they have
we lost Cap.
Not Cap, but what if it's another I almost said metahuman. Didn't watching too much DC, but what if it's an X-Man, if it's a mutant or just some other superhero that a facehugger does get in there, and then it's like some souped up.
Oh, you got like a fucking super xenomorph running around.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't know if they'll go that far, but I want to see that.
We'll see what they do. It's interesting. It has that's let's say 20th Century logo on them. I forgot that they own that now. That Disney owns 20th Century. I think they own so much weird shit that you just don't even realize. But we are
antitrust laws. What?
We are very looking forward to this one. Last topic this week, Kev. We're going to switch from a lot of Marvel talk this week to the DC, as you call it, the DCGU, the DC Gun Universe, official working title. Here
trademark. It's a verbal trademark that's legally binding.
Verbal trademark. We've got a Peacemaker season 2 trailer. just dropped, and we've talked about before that James Gunn says it is pretty much required viewing at this point, right? We've got Superman character cameos, and if you want, what do you say? If you want to know what's next, you'll watch the show. Is that right? Something along those lines?
Yeah, that it's going to reveal the larger game plan. I
Yes,
can grab the quote here, but it's going to be important, much to the chagrin of some of our viewing audience who pointed out, what about my wife and kid who came with me to watch? What was it? Was it a PG Superman?
I can't remember, but it
PG-13
definitely
max?
is not this.
Not
level,
on the same
yes.
page as this, so that much we know for sure, but it's going to be important. Not a good idea, Kang. I'm just saying that. Not a good idea.
Yep. So makes his debut in, spoilers, Superman. I guess he doesn't make his debut. He's in Superman. Peacemaker is John Cena is. Was at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend. I think it was San Diego. All up in costume. And then they dropped this trailer. So we're going to play this and then give our thoughts on it here. So give me 1 second to pull this up.
While you do, the quote was, if people watch the next season of Peacemaker, they'll see where a lot of these things are going. So
there it is. Yes. See where a lot of these things are going.
Maybe not full on required viewing, but it kind of sounds that way. We shall see.
Yeah, I think it's required viewing. I think it is. So here we go.
Optional team dinner, James.
Yeah, like it's an optional team dinner. Don't worry, you don't have to be there. Okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Pulling this up. This is Peacemaker Season 2 official trailer.
Here's the new trailer of Peacemaker Season 2. Enjoy.
We doing it up in style.
Hey guys, apologize for the quality. My computer is mad right now.
On. Duh. Oh, okay. Okay.
Just hand it to him.
I'll just hand it to him.
It's a copyright filter.
That's right.
I've changed a lot since I last saw you. I don't want to be a joke anymore. I want to be a real hero.
You wear a clown costume and go out and beat up people. Chris, take something bad and make something good out of it.
Big upgrade on that helmet.
Yeah.
He killed my son.
You're being monitored right now.
By who?
Rick Flag, Sr.
Yep. Elder Rick Flag.
What is it?
I have a dimensional portal. And it leads to a parallel world.
What?
It's not that big a deal.
Get the out, is not.
My son is a better man you could ever dream of being. I've tried to make up for my mistakes, but I'm not sure redemption is possible.
He's in love with you. Me and Chris, it's never gonna be a thing.
I'm going to make a life in the other world.
Another underwear
There's
scene.
another dimension. It's exactly the same as ours.
But better. Best dimension ever.
Dude, that's sick.
We need to close that dimensional rift.
The condoms, I'm partnering you up with our new agent, Rip Jagger.
Who's Rip Jagger?
Hey, fatty. No matter how green the grass is over there, you belong here with us. We're gonna get Chris back. You met your own self from a parallel dimension? You're wearing his clothes?
You think I bought this? That's painful.
My mom, we're going to my secret room. You're not allowed to follow.
You must be John.
Jesus.
You're not that dorky.
Shut up, Mom.
Oh, and for only $9.99 a month, James, we can watch that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the obligatory shout out to Max there. I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, I have thought of another bingo card for us, gang, because this includes a lot of the things that I have claimed many a time that I am tired of seeing in superhero movies.
Okay.
The number one being the I'm fighting the evil twin of myself. It's happened in
Didn't
almost
Superman just do
every
that?
it happened in
Spoiler.
every phase 1 movie of Marvel. Yeah, and Superman just did it, which was one of like my not favorite parts, but I didn't hate it. I was willing to give it a pass because I liked the majority of what went on with that movie. But
Yeah.
yes, they did just do that. And it is overdone in the for whatever reason in the film world. Not that it doesn't exist in the comics, but you have many more stories to choose from, so it doesn't feel as overdone as
Yeah.
many tropes have been done throughout the years. But so I don't love that. And while I am all for the multiverses, check our last segment to see more thoughts about
Correct.
that. The idea that he's got his own little personal TVA thing, it just feels a little too close.
Was that just his?
Marvel.
Like I was like confused by that because I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that very felt TVA to me, and not a. I didn't wasn't a huge fan of where that all ended up anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, there was a time when I enjoyed it, and I think it might have gotten worse along the way. But my theory here is that this is maybe somehow related to Lex Luthor's little pocket universe. That maybe I'm assuming someone smarter than Peacemaker came up with all of this.
Yeah,
and
he did.
somehow found a side door in or something like that. But and this idea, it also feels a little bit like Deadpool, where, and even with some elements of Deadpool Wolverine with their TVA and him, or going in that situation, he's going to multiple universes to find the right Wolverine. But in his story, he goes through and kills alternate versions of himself. It just like I don't know that this is the way I would want to see a story go. As somebody who admittedly didn't even watch the first season of Peacemaker, this doesn't make me want to get caught up and be like, oh, cool, I can't wait to watch this. I feel like I've seen this 100 times already.
Which I think is kind of important, right? Like, I don't know if you need to watch season 1 or not. They haven't really said if that's still canon, which spoilers at the very end, there's a brief scene of the Justice League. They're like, you don't see him in character, but they're like showing up at a scene, like Superman's dropping down, you see his back. So I don't probably think it is, but maybe, I guess he maybe goes through these portals and then it's irrelevant. Peacemaker season 1's fun. Like it is very fun, but I would agree with you. Like just watching this, I'm just kind of like, man, if I was like, oh man, I really like Superman. What's next? This is it. And then I watch that, it'd be a little bummed out. Be like, I don't know. Like I was already planning to watch it, so I'm not too worried about like this. But if I'm an outsider, you're trying to get people in, I'm kind of just like, not a great trailer.
Yeah, I wouldn't score it well for a preview review.
No.
Yeah, I think some of this might be bad timing too, James. I don't want to put this next bit of feedback at the feet of the cast and crew of the Peacemaker. It's got nothing to do with them, but considering, like you said, Superman just came out, maybe not a good time to utilize Peacemaker in that way. If this is going to be something that points towards the future of the film universe, I think that on its own is probably a bad idea. Wrong place, wrong time. I don't know that he's the right character and it's the right style of story. To me, it'd be almost, again, the equivalency of having just major MCU plotline developments in a Deadpool movie, knowing that a good chunk of your audience can't even watch that because their parents.
That's let's see if we can see what it's going to be rated.
So not only is it a smaller character in scale of the DCGU, but it's a more adult themed show, I believe, right? I'm
Yeah,
basing some
for
of this
sure.
on the Suicide Squad 2021's, or was it 22?
What
I
would
don't know,
that
you know the one, the good one.
Oh, it'd be ESRB's video games. What would that be called? So I can TV rating.
Ooh.
I'm trying to see what if it's been. And I'm getting weird because I'm not looking up the right thing.
What the rating for the show is, but
Here we
yeah,
go. This is Peacemaker PG-13. Maybe that'll do it for me.
there it is. At Grok. It'll get you
Oh,
there.
I'm not even. I fucking refuse to touch Grok.
I figured I had to
Now
get
I guess
it.
they're the
AI
Peacemaker. There's a
got
movie in fucking '97. This maybe I'm not good. Man, I try to stay away from AI and this stuff. That's why I'm not even using Google.
But yeah, while you look that up, I think it's probably would have been a better idea to just have more patience. I think some of this scares me, James, because it
Here we go.
seems like Gunn hasn't maybe learned the right lessons from some of DC's previous failures, as opposed to looking at, hey, you were in the Marvel side of things, man. Did he maybe not have the right takeaways? Because the original DC was rushed, but this also could be. And stop me if you've heard this one before, gang. This sounds like a Warner Brothers issue to me, James. It sounds like they are the ones who have not learned their lesson, and they once again are going to try to speed run getting to a Justice League that everybody loves, so they can finally compete with the Avengers, who are currently in the worst state that they've ever been. So why you'd be trying to do all of that in this moment in a rush is beyond me. Now's not the time to try to be rushing through superhero IPs. But did you find what you were looking for the TV show point?
No, I can't get it. I can't find an answer on what the rating of it is. I guess the TV shows even get ratings.
Well, you've seen it. So season 1
is not TV. It's not kid friendly
for kids. Okay.
No.
So I think one would assume that generally speaking, it's not going to be for kids either. I would think.
Yeah.
I that seems pretty unprecedented to me. Not that it wouldn't happen again, especially with Warner Brothers involved. But I can't think of too many shows that went from being an adult thing to okay, now we're PG-13. Of course, you see it happen with movie franchises occasionally, but I don't know about TV shows. So I think the point stands, whether we know the rating or not. My point stands at least as far as not the show.
Like if it was rated, I would say it's probably PG-13. Like, but they don't. That's right. They don't rate TV shows like that. I'm trying, like, there is some as Peacemaker family friendly. Like I'm looking at these articles now.
These are like TV
been a bit
or something. It's not a
wouldn't be TVMA for sure.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a different rating system. But yeah. So you've seen
not
the
that
first
crazy,
season.
but
do you want to check me on any of that since you've watched the first season and you clearly liked it enough to want to watch season 2. I think you mentioned that that ineffective trailer didn't have any too negative of a thought for you. So how do you feel about it having seen both? Do you think this is the right place to add this expanded, push the larger narrative forward? Is Peacemaker the place?
I gotta see it. I'm also the one that said I was kind of out on Superman, and I went and watched it and really liked it. It's I don't know, man. It's gonna be. I'm very interested. Like, I wouldn't have done it. I would have used a more family friendly character, right? Like, you're trying to push box office numbers more than anything, and this is pretty quick after, and you kind of watch Marvel have varying degrees of success with TV shows, and I don't know. I know there's going to be cameos. I think the Justice League characters, some of them are showing up. I don't think Superman will show up, but you never know. I wouldn't have done it. I'm going to hold my breath and wait because I thought Superman was pretty good, but we'll see. I wouldn't have started here. I would have waited. I would have done something else next. So we'll see. That's the best I got. I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I think sounds like we're in agreement. And as you were saying that, it kind of a fear crept into my head. And luckily, this isn't Disney owned, but I really hope James Gunn doesn't go the Star Wars show route and say, oh, this is in title a Peacemaker show, but 4 or 5 episodes, we're going to say, oh, here's the Justice League, or, oh, here's some larger character in order to make up for what we've both alluded to a little bit about this maybe not being the right character to move things forward. Like, are they going to try to bring in something bigger to say that, oh, okay, this is deserving of the scale of all this? I hope that's not the case. I hope they make it about Peacemaker and it stays about Peacemaker, but maybe we'll be surprised. I don't know, man. That's at least they're taking some risks. That's good. I don't know. I don't know if it'll pay off, but scared money doesn't make money. My friend Jor-El told me that once, and he's named after Superman, or his Superman's dad.
Pulling up a James Gunn tweet here. That obviously this is just a promotional one. It also doesn't say, like it doesn't give it away if it's canon or not, but it says if he can't find peace here, maybe he'll find it somewhere else, alluding to a different universe, which is probably where the Superman movie is set. And then it says the story of Superman and DCU continues with #Peacemaker Season 2 on August 21st. Rewatch Season 1 and listen to the official DC Peacemaker podcast now on YouTube. And then the picture is, it's a graffiti artist. It's in what world is he the hero?
Oh, in the world of corporate synergy, brother. Wow. I feel like an idiot. You maybe should edit out some of the things I said from that last segment, because this sounds like it's even the story of Superman and the DCU. Putting Superman's name in there, I get why they're doing it. All right, it's that they're you got some Six Sigma black belts back in there, just saying, hey man, we got this. Of course, we're going to mention Superman in our Peacemaker ads here, but oh boy, the more this goes on, the more it feels like that required viewing that I think is a very bad idea, James. It's a bad idea.
Yep. Sure seems required to me, but we shall see. We'll be watching it. I mean, I will be watching it, and maybe Kev will, maybe Kev won't. We'll find out.
Hey, anybody have any referral codes for HBO Max so I can save a few bucks?
Just $9.99 a month. You saw it. Just $9.99, Kev. Then you'll forget about it and you'll pay it forever.
That's what I'm afraid of.
The old Planet Fitness business model. Any final thoughts, Kev, before we get out of here?
Oh, I look forward to talking about more Marvel and DC stuff with everybody. There's a lot more locked and loaded, maybe some Clayface discussions. There's some more Otherworld DC universe going on in the DCGU. But no, other than that, just keep an eye out for more videos, gang.
Yep. We'll be doing this weekly now, except there may be we may do a Fantastic Four review live here. We haven't talked about this yet, but it did some big numbers and we might have to do that. So, but thank you everyone for watching. Please like, subscribe, follow us here. Kev, do you want to shout out anywhere else before we end our first week of the Weekly Dweeb in the new segment?
Hey, go check out Carnage Media on YouTube if you want to see me at work. Had some good amateur kickboxing and pro boxing action from last weekend. So those fights and the highlights are going to be posted throughout the week. So if you're into combat sports, we got free fights every night. Carnage Media YouTube channel. Help us get to 1K subs over there. And other than that, again, just right here, man, turn those noties on because we're going to have a lot more uploads for you throughout the week now.
Keep joining us, guys. Thank you guys for watching these. This has been the Weekly Dweeb. We'll be back next week. We'll see you then.